Hey y'all, it's Gord, your hurtin' hippie. It is Friday morning, and you cheated and read the title. I'm talking about legalization. And I'm doing the old Mr. Rogers thing today. I'm saying it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I have seen a lot of posts of people complaining about all the rules and regulations around cannabis. And we had a person who doesn't comment anymore here, but Eric really talked about how stupid it was and how many people are going to be in jail. So I want to take this on again, and hopefully this time not have... I want discussion. I do want discussion. I don't want any of you taking offense to the fact that a hippie is not against these regulations. Do I think most of them should stay? No. I think the regulations, most of them are born from fear, lack of knowledge, ignorance, and stupidity, political meandering, and a little bit of influence from the pharmaceutical companies. I think that definitely we are over-regulated. But first, let's just look at it in a lifestyle of a product. This product's just coming out, and it has a tinge of danger to it, at least to the minds of those in charge. Whether the danger... Remember, perception is reality to the perceiver, to the person perceiving it. What they see, they think is real, even if it isn't. So, there is that slight tinge of danger, a new product coming out, regulations become heavy. It's happened ever since the end of prohibition of alcohol, and everything was a government-run place until they realized that by doing that, they're really... tying the hands of commerce and the way of the West, free market. So we're there again. We have a liberal government which love regulations. Look what Trump's doing to regulations, getting rid of them everywhere. We like to add them because we have a liberal government. The only good thing Trudeau has done is the legalization. And yes, it's mired in regulation. It's a regulation of a commodity, not a legalization of a commodity. Some people say it's just a plant. But let's be real. That plant, just free and out there, can get in the hands of young children, and not huge danger, not huge side effects or anything like that. It's just... I get it. I just get it. As time goes on, we as a society now have it within us to start voting for those people who are going to make those regulations more realistic, more living up to society. It is a process of the life cycle of this product. And it's a process that we all have to take part in. Our advocacy doesn't end here. We have many other... We're the only country in the... Sorry, Portugal. We're one of very few countries that have legalized any drugs. And it's time to expand. It's time to get real that this is a health issue, not a criminal problem. So this is just the beginning, folks. So don't feel, oh my God, all these rules. But let's also look at some of these regulations as to how serious they really are to the average smoker. Because there's going to be some people who would have never tried it because it was illegal and will try it now. Those aren't the typical. They aren't atypical. Atypical is me. And most of these regulations are not going to affect me. I've gotten to the point that I almost never drive while I'm high. Yes, my THC count is up. That I had somebody counter me that. I have very high tolerance. I'm always got something in me. So if I got pulled over and I got tested, I would have a high THC count and I would fail. First of all, I haven't been pulled over since I was a teenager. And I got long hair. Second of all, even if I do get pulled over, I've got nothing indicating that I'm high or problematic. 90% of the time, of course, I'm throwing these figures out. I got no data to cover it. Most of the time, when a cop pulls somebody over, it's because they have an issue with their vehicle, they were driving erratically, they were speeding. Cops are not supposed to just randomly pick and pull over. And when they do, yeah, okay, you got some bad cops out there, and yes, these regulations will be abused. But they can also then be fought in court. Someone like me, if I do happen to get charged, I'm not going to go to jail for impaired driving. I'm going to have a court date. I'm going to be able to say, look at this. Look at this. I wake up and after 10 hours of sleep and there's no more high in my system at all, I wake up impaired by your regulations. And slowly over time, and yes, some good people are going to get caught up in this, but not very many. And I always feel bad for the outliers, but outliers don't run policy. Smoking in public, it's going to be mostly kids who would smoke their cigarettes in public that'll be doing that. I don't smoke in public. I go off to a corner. There's no cop going to come up to you, or at least very few. Remember, they've got their regular things to do. They aren't hiring extra to go out and fight these new laws. These laws have always been in place. They're just more firm now because the plant will be in the public eye rather than a criminal aspect. There's going to be tickets and stuff like that, but in most cases, cops just don't care as long as you're being careful and a good citizen. And I'm an anarchist, and I don't like cowtailing to the government. I don't like government, period. However, to quote George Costanza in Seinfeld, we're living in a society, and societies have rules. So think about that, my friends. Think about it carefully. And let's talk below. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. I gotta go get my son from school. Peace.